Hello, artist friends. Okay, we're working on our flower project today. So we just watched our little video or little PowerPoint about Tucker Nichols and his awesome idea of dedicating his artwork to all sorts of things relating to COVID, but most importantly, people in his life and who have been helping with the pandemic. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be working on our canvas. So what this is just a canvas board, okay? And I've given these back to your teachers, and this is actually, if you were here last year, this is the one you started painting last year, and because of COVID, we didn't quite finish. So we're going to use this as our background for the fest artwork this year again. So we're making our flower project, okay? And we looked at our artists. We looked at Tucker Nichols. We looked at Carrie Ambrosino. We looked at Heather Gawler, and again, your inspiration is the most important. So we are making flowers for somebody. Now I want you to be thinking about who these are going to be for and who you can dedicate these to and who might be meaningful to you while we're working on them. So what we need today is our canvas panel, okay? I've got a little cheat sheet here. If you're at school, I'm giving those to you. If you're at home, it's all online, okay? It's in our assignment. And then I've got scissors, glue, pencil. I have a little scratch piece of paper to do a couple sketches, kind of like these, to decide my layout. And then I've got some paper. So if you're at home, I sent home the remote learners a little Ziploc bag of paper, okay? So you should have a green piece of paper, a neutral piece of paper, like a brown or a tan, and then either cool colors or warm colors, depending on what your canvas looks like. Also, zoomers in from home, I forgot to give you guys a long strip. If you can round up a piece of paper, if you need, this is gonna be like our table that the flowers will be on. So if you can round up one of these, great. And if not, we don't even need a table really. So it's up to you. So my very first job, those are the supplies we're needing. My very first job is to make sure I've got papers that are gonna work with my background. Now, some of your canvases look different. Some of you guys have stencils all over them. And if you like the stencils, great. And if you don't like the stencils, you can put flowers on top of those so that we don't end up seeing very much of them. If you have a really busy pattern like this, you might wanna do bigger, simple flowers. You'll just have to kind of see what kind of design you want to do. And yours might be colored all in big patches. So all the canvases look different, and that's okay. My very first job is to choose colors that are going to work on this and pop. So warm colors, reds, orange, yellows, are going to pop off of a cool background. If I have a mostly cool background, I want to choose warm colors. If I have a mostly warm background, like these ones, then I'm gonna choose cool colors for my paper flowers. And that way, it's really gonna pop off of the background. If I have a very busy background with lots of colors, like this one, I'm just gonna kind of maybe hold up some papers to it and see which one I kind of think works better. So choose one, choose the other, whatever one you're kind of feeling that day. And then you're also deciding what color of green for leaves and things, if you need them, and stems. And then also which color of a neutral color that you may want to use as a pot. Now, here's the other thing. I'm not saying you have to use these colors. If you have a different idea and you want to use this blue instead of browns, that's fine with me. I just wanted to give you a neutral color in case you wanted it. The last thing we talked about too is just choosing if you want to do a table or not do a table. Okay, so we've got the supplies, we've kind of chosen our colors. Our very, very, very first job is to decide what we're going to do. So we looked at Tucker Nichols' artwork. We watched him making hundreds and hundreds of those beautiful flower drawings and paintings to send to people. And what I love about doing that is he gets the chance to do so many different compositions. So remember, a composition is just when you're choosing how you're going to design your artwork. Do you want to see part of the vase? All of these ones don't have a table, and all of these ones do have a table. Great. Whatever you think. If you want to do a different shaped vase or pot, you can. And then look at the variety of flowers too. Some are simple circle, some have lots of little patterns, some are all bunched together. I'm going to let you guys choose. So my job, very first thing, is just on a scratch piece of paper to do a couple of sketches. To do a sketch, all I do is draw 4 rectangles that are wiggly and wobbly and not perfect because I'm working fast. And I'm looking at Tucker Nichols' artwork, and I'm thinking about the other artists I saw, and I'm thinking about what I want to do, and I want to try a few things. So I'm going to try one where I don't see any of the floor, and I'm going to try kind of like a tulip shape. Okay, so that one could be cool. Maybe I want to do one where it's a really long, tall, skinny vase, and I see a table. And this one I'm going to just do lots of little flowers. So this would mean I would cut out lots of little circle-y kind of pieces to make flowers that would look like that. And on this one, I'm going to just try, I need a little variety. This is an experiment just on us trying to, try a variety of things to be able to choose one that we really like. So I think I'm just going to do a nice, fat, low pot like that. And this time I'm going to do a bunchy bunch. And maybe this is going to be totally full of circles. Okay, so if I like one of these and it's the one I for sure want to do, great. I still want you to draw 3. The reason why is because it gets you kind of trying something that you think that's not going to look very good, or I don't know, but I'm supposed to try it. So then it gets you thinking about what you really want. Once you've got a plan, okay, choosing one that you really like, then you're going to start cutting. So a couple of tips, okay? If this one is my background and I have chosen my cool colors to go on top, and I'm kind of looking to see if I like this one or this one, and I think I'm kind of liking this one on this side. I'm kind of like looking to see what I've got. Do I like this? Do I like that? Kind of like that one, okay? And then I've got my green. So I've kind of got a little bit of an idea of what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna do this blue base. So I can start there. If I know that I wanna do a tabletop, you could start with the tabletop and go ahead and put it in. The other fun thing about cutting the paper ones is that you can actually set them on top so it looks like it's sitting on the table. If I put it right here, that kind of looks like it's on the table. But if I put it just in front of that other paper, it really looks like it's on there. So I've started with a base if I'm doing that, okay? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just having it come out and you can't see any of the table or whatever it's sitting on. Second tip, when you get to the vase, fold your paper in half. So if it ends up being not tall enough, you can always build it a little bit taller with your scraps. But when I cut it, okay, and it's folded in half, when I unfold it, it's the same on both sides. And that makes it kind of look more like a vase because that's usually what happens with vases. They're kind of symmetrical. All right, I'm keeping every little paper scrap. I might need these to help me with my flowers in a minute. All right, so now I'm thinking my flower design, and I'm gonna look again at my sketch. What had I decided? Okay, I think I'm kind of combining these two because I wanted to actually have a table on this one. So I'm gonna do tulips, kind of tulip shapes. And again, there's lots of options here, okay? So for this one, I think what I'm gonna do is show you how you can cut a tulip. I cut that in half because I don't need it quite so big. I'm gonna fold it in half, and I'm just gonna cut out kind of like a leaf shape. And if you wanna draw them first, you can. And then I have 2 of the same, okay? And then when I put them together, they kind of end up being like a tulip shape, okay? So if you want to cut out any of the flower designs the shapes that you like. Super. If you're doing a round flower, here's a good tip. Find something round to trace. Maybe you've got something in your desk, like a pencil sharpener, or maybe you've got something around that's a little bit of a circle shape. Because when I start with a circle, it gives me a little bit better balance of how to get those flowers around. So now I can choose, do I just want to cut like a zigzag around that circle, or do I want to do petals? You can choose. I'm going to do the zigzag. Okay, and then I'm just going to start cutting out all my flowers. So job number one, like we were talking about, is just trying a few sketches. Decide which one you like the best. Then we're moving on to cutting the paper. So if you're going to include the table, great. If you're going to do a vase, then you can fold it in half so that you can kind of get the shape even and then the same on both sides. And then you're just starting to work with your flower shapes. Okay, so once you start cutting, you might start noticing that, ooh, I've got kind of some extra scrappy bits of my other colors, and you might want to start experimenting, kind of combining the colors together. Like maybe I'm going to end up doing a circle of this color right in the middle of that blue one when I get that one done. Okay, so we're just kind of trying to experiment with the cool colors that I've chosen, or the warm colors you've chosen, and trying to start building our flowers with cut paper. Okay, friends, I think that's probably as far as we're going to get today. Next week, okay, and I'm going to hopefully get some more of this cut and glued. The other thing that we'll want to do is I'm just going to keeping all my little scrappy bits. I want to save every little piece, unless it's teeny tiny, because I might need to use it for next time. So I'm just going to keep all this stacked here. And I'm actually not going to glue anything down yet today, unless you know you have your whole layout totally done. And the reason why is because sometimes you want to be able to rearrange them and put in some more, like maybe you have a couple of these little guys. Okay, and if I glue that down, then that means I can't get it back inside underneath. So we're gonna probably want to be able to layer just a little bit and have our plan. So we'll see how far we get today. I'm hoping that we can kind of get at least started thinking about what kind of flower shapes we want, getting some of them cut. And then if you know for sure that you're like, I definitely want that there, you can actually just leave it as it is. Stack up every little scrappy paper, okay? And we actually are not going to glue quite yet. I just wanted to make sure you guys have everything laid out how you'd like it before we glue it all. So everything's stacked up. I already know my name's on the back, and then teachers, we can just stack these up to save for next time. Okay, friends? So we're trying to get most of the paper cut, get our plan, kind of decide what we're doing, get started, and then we'll glue and we'll get the details on next time. Can't wait to see what your flowers are looking like. And don't forget, these need to be dedicated to somebody. So keep that in mind this week. Next week, hopefully you'll have a little bit of idea of who you want to dedicate yours to. Nice job today, friends.